Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast.
Oh,
Today,
yeah.
we're going to be diving into the career of a music icon,
Okay.
Taylor Swift. You might already know her as like a
Oh, right.
pop superstar,
Mm-hmm.
but her journey is way more interesting than just catchy tunes and stadium tours.
Yeah, I think, what's really fascinating about Taylor Swift
Yeah.
is that she's managed to, stay at
Yeah.
the top of the music industry
Mm-hmm.
for, over a decade.
Yeah.
Constantly reinventing herself while also, building this fiercely loyal fan base.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to unpack today.
Exactly.
Like, how did she go from country darling to global pop phenomenon?
Yeah.
And what can we learn from this incredible success story?
Yeah, and I think, a lot of people think of her as, a pop artist.
Right.
But her roots are actually in country music.
That's true. She started performing at like a really young age.
Yeah.
Even opening for established country stars
Mm-hmm.
like Brad Paisley.
That's right.
I bet those early experiences playing for like these country audiences really helped her develop her stage presence
Oh, absolutely.
and songwriting.
Yeah,
Like
stage presence is so important for performers.
it is.
And you can tell that, she
Yeah.
honed that early on.
For sure.
And it's important to note that even back then,
Yes.
Swift was already showing signs of being a really savvy businesswoman.
Oh, yeah.
Her early record deal with Big Machine Records was unusual because
Wait.
she negotiated ownership of her masters right from the start.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty impressive for someone so young.
Yeah,
I mean, most artists
Yeah.
don't even think about
that's right.
owning their masters until much later in their careers.
Yeah.
So why was that so important to her?
Well, owning your masters basically means that you control
Okay.
how your music is used.
Okay.
And how you profit from it. It's a
Right.
huge financial asset,
Yeah.
and it gives artists a lot more creative freedom. This foresight would later play a really crucial role
Right.
in her career.
Okay, so let's talk about those early country albums.
Yeah.
What made them stand out?
Well,
Did her songwriting already have that
yeah.
signature Taylor Swift style?
I think from the very beginning,
Okay.
her lyrics capture this kind of youthful honesty
Mm.
and vulnerability that
Mhm.
really resonated with listeners.
Yeah.
Songs like Teardrops on My Guitar and You Belong With Me
Oh, yeah.
dealt with universal teenage experiences,
Right.
heartbreak, first love,
Yeah.
feeling like an outsider.
Totally.
But it was her ability to tell those stories with such vivid detail and raw emotion
Yeah.
that made her stand out.
Yeah, it's like she was writing diary entries and setting them to music.
Exactly.
It's no wonder so many young fans
Yeah.
felt like they just knew her.
Exactly. And her music videos
You-
from that era
Yeah.
really played a big role in shaping her image.
Okay.
They were often these mini movies telling those same stories
Yeah.
visually.
Oh, for sure.
Remember the high school setting of You
Uh-huh.
Belong With Me?
Yeah.
It just perfectly captured that teenage yearning,
So she's got this massive following.
right?
She's winning awards.
Yeah.
Her music is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But then she makes a pretty dramatic shift.
Yeah.
She goes full on pop
Yeah.
with the album 1989.
1989.
Was that a risky move?
I mean, it definitely was a risk.
Yeah.
Country music fans can be very loyal to
Right.
the genre.
Yeah.
And some saw it as a betrayal,
Okay.
but Swift was clearly ready to explore a new sound
Okay.
and reach a wider audience.
Yeah.
And it paid off big time.
I mean, 1989 became one of the best-selling albums of all time.
That's right.
So talk about a gamble that paid off.
Huge.
What was it about that album that resonated so strongly?
Well,
Was it just the catchy pop hooks, or was there something more?
I think while the pop sound was definitely more radio friendly, she didn't abandon her songwriting strengths.
Right.
Songs like Shake It Off and Blank Space
Yeah.
still had those relatable lyrics, but they were now wrapped in this bigger, bolder sound.
Gotcha.
And the music videos were even more elaborate
Right.
and cinematic.
Yeah, she wasn't just making music anymore. She was creating this whole visual world
That's right.
around her songs.
Exactly.
It's like she understood the power of imagery and storytelling
Yeah.
in a way that few artists were doing at the time.
Yeah, I think you're right. She
Yeah.
was becoming a master of building a brand,
Yeah.
and her fans were completely on board for the ride.
And this brings us to,
Yeah.
I think, a pivotal moment
Yeah.
in her career.
Okay.
The decision to re-record
Yeah.
her first 6 albums.
Re-recordings.
Can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
why she did that
Yeah.
and how it changed the music industry?
It all goes back to that early record deal.
Okay.
and the ownership of her masters.
Okay. So when her former label, Big Machine Records, was sold,
Right.
she lost control of those recordings.
Oh, wow.
And she felt like her artistic legacy was
Yeah.
being held hostage.
That's a pretty bold move.
Is.
To basically redo years of work.
Yeah, it was a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
But her fans were incredibly supportive.
So what was the reaction from the industry and the fans?
I think everybody was shocked.
Okay.
But they were also impressed.
Okay.
The re-recordings, dubbed Taylor's version,
I love that.
topped the charts,
Wow.
proving the power of her connection with her audience.
For sure.
It really sent a shockwave through the music industry,
I bet.
highlighting the importance of artists owning their work and inspiring others to fight for their rights.
Before we dive deeper into like her impact and evolution, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
You won't want to miss the next part of our Taylor Swift deep dive on Tell Me More.
We'll be back in a moment to explore how her music continued to evolve.
Yeah.
And how she's used her platform to advocate for causes she believes in.
Sounds good.
All right.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told Us podcast.
Yes.
We're continuing our deep dive into the career of Taylor Swift. And in this part, we're really getting into like the evolution of her music.
You know, one of the things that's most remarkable about Swift is how she's managed to navigate these different musical landscapes.
Yeah.
While like staying true to her core strengths as a songwriter.
Yeah. We left off talking about the 1989 era.
Yeah.
Where she went full on pop.
Right.
But she didn't stop there.
She did not.
She continued to experiment with different sounds and genres.
Exactly. Like take a look at the Reputation album.
Okay.
It had a darker, edgier feel, reflecting like the intense media scrutiny that she was facing at the time.
Right.
Songs like Look What You Made Me Do and Delicate had a real bite to them while still showcasing her vulnerability. It's like she was reclimbing her narrative.
Yes.
Using her music to respond to all the criticism and negativity that was being thrown her way.
Totally. And then with Lover, she went in a completely different direction. Yeah. Embracing a brighter, more romantic sound.
Yeah.
It's an album that celebrates love in all its forms.
Totally.
From the playful me to the deeply personal, soon you'll get better.
It's fascinating how she's able to shift gears so dramatically.
Oh, it's amazing.
From album to album, yet each one feels authentically Taylor Swift.
Right, and I think her ability to connect with her audience through her lyrics is like one of the reasons why she's been able to maintain such a loyal following.
Totally, and it's not just the lyrics.
Right.
She's also a master of creating these like immersive visual experiences.
Absolutely.
Through her music videos.
Think about the music video for Blank Space.
Oh, yeah.
It was this brilliant satire of the media's portrayal of her as this like boy crazy serial dater. Yeah.
She took control of the narrative and turned it into a piece of art.
And then there's All Too Well, the short film.
Oh, yes.
Which she wrote and directed herself.
I know, it's amazing.
It's a heartbreaking and beautifully shot story about this passionate but ultimately doomed relationship.
It's so sad.
It's like a mini movie.
Yeah.
And it just shows her growth.
I know.
As a storyteller.
That short film really showcases her evolution as an artist. Like, she's not just a singer-songwriter anymore.
Right.
She's a filmmaker, a director.
Yeah.
A visual artist.
And with the release of Folklore and Evermore.
Oh, yeah.
She surprised everyone again.
She did.
By going in this like indie folk alternative sound direction.
It was a surprise.
What was it about those albums that resonated with you?
Well, for me, it was the storytelling.
Okay.
They're filled with these like richly detailed narratives and characters.
Yeah.
That feel so real and relatable.
You can tell that she was really inspired by literature and film.
Yeah.
Like take, for example, the song Cardigan from Folklore.
Okay.
It's this haunting tale of a lost love and a forgotten sweater.
Wow.
That becomes a symbol of this past relationship.
Right.
She paints such vivid pictures with her words.
She does. She really transports you to another world with those albums.
Absolutely. And then with Midnights, she shifted gears again.
Yeah.
Giving us this like introspective look at different moments and emotions throughout her life.
It's so interesting how Midnights feels both personal and universal.
Yeah.
At the same time.
It does.
She's reflecting on her own experiences with love, loss, ambition, but she does it in a way that allows listeners to connect with their own stories.
It's powerful.
And even beyond like the individual albums,
Yeah.
there's this sense of continuity throughout her career.
Yeah.
She's constantly referencing her past work, weaving together these threads that create this larger tapestry.
Exactly.
It's like she's inviting her fans to join her on this journey of self-discovery and creative exploration.
It's a great point. There's a sense of intimacy and shared experience that's unique to her relationship with her fans.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about her musical evolution.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about the other aspects of her career.
Right.
She's not just an artist.
No.
She's also a savvy businesswoman.
Yes.
And a powerful advocate for social justice.
Absolutely. We'll delve into that next.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'd love to hear like what stands out to you so far about Taylor Swift's journey.
Yeah.
What's resonating with you most?
Well, for me, it's her fearlessness.
Yeah, okay.
She's never been afraid to take risks.
Yeah.
To try new things and to speak her mind.
I think that's a key takeaway here.
Yeah.
She's constantly pushing herself creatively
right.
and using her platform to amplify voices and causes she believes in.
We'll be right back after a quick break to explore that further.
Okay.
On Tell Me More.
Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast.
Yes, where we're wrapping up our deep dive into the phenomenon that is Taylor Swift.
We've talked about her musical journey, her evolution as an artist,
right,
and how she's constantly pushing boundaries.
Yeah, but there's another layer to her story.
Yeah.
That we need to explore her impact beyond the music.
Yeah, it's impossible to talk about Taylor Swift without acknowledging her incredible business acumen.
She's one of the few artists who's managed to, like, take control of her career in a way that few have been able to do.
We already touched on how she negotiated ownership of her masters early on.
Yeah, but that was just the beginning.
Right.
She's been incredibly strategic about building her brand.
Okay.
From her partnerships with major companies to her innovative use of social media.
Oh, yeah. Think about how she interacts directly with her fans online.
Yeah.
Creating this sense of intimacy and community. It's a masterclass in fan engagement.
Totally.
And it's translated into incredible loyalty and support.
And then there's Swiftonomics.
Yes.
The term that's been coined to describe like the massive economic impact she has.
Her tours sell out stadiums.
Yeah.
Her merchandise flies off the shelves.
Right.
And her every move generates headlines and boosts local economies.
It's amazing to think about like the ripple effect.
It is.
For success.
But her influence goes beyond just business.
Right.
She's also become this powerful advocate for causes she believes in.
From speaking out against sexism and discrimination in the music industry.
Right.
To encouraging her fans to vote.
Exactly.
She's used her platform to raise awareness.
Yeah.
And inspire action.
And she does it in a way that feels authentic and relatable.
Yeah, she doesn't shy away from like these difficult conversations.
No, she doesn't.
And she's not afraid to use her voice to make a difference.
That's right. And I think that's what makes her such a compelling role model.
Yeah, for so many people.
She's shown that it's possible to be successful.
Right.
To be creative and to use your influence for good.
That's right.
So what does Taylor Swift's sustained success across multiple genres reveal about the changing landscape of the music industry?
I think it speaks to the power of authenticity.
Okay.
Of connecting with your audience on a personal level.
Right.
And of owning your creative vision.
It's a reminder that artists don't have to be confined by a genre or industry expectation.
They can forge their own path.
Yeah.
And they can use their success to make a positive impact on the world.
Taylor Swift's journey is a testament to the power of talent, hard work, and a relentless pursuit of creative freedom.
And it's a story that's still being written.
Who knows what the next chapter will hold?
Yeah.
But one thing is certainly Taylor Swift will continue to surprise us, inspire us, and challenge the status quo.
For sure. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
into the world of Taylor Swift.
We hope you learned something new, gained some insights, and maybe even been inspired to tell your own story.
Be sure to subscribe to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast
for
more fascinating deep dives into the stories that shape our world.